How to create a killer capacity plan. When someone talks about capacity planning, does it fill you with dread? The thought of having to look over all of your workload, all of your staffing levels and resources available, where you spend time, and finding out what the business needs to grow, this can all be terrifying. And this is exactly why you need a killer capacity plan. The problem is, nobody knows where to start or how to do it the right way. Still tracking staff using a time-based approach? Yes, I'm talking to you. So, how do you do it? How is it possible to work out the resources you need to deal with a wide variety of demands from your clients? How do I even know if I'm ready to hire more staff, let alone the right ones? If you panic and just hire on a whim, you will end up with damage to your team culture, lower productivity in your team, and poor customer experience. And that was me a few years ago too. Now let me make this clear. It takes a lot of tools to create the perfect capacity plan, but the main part from my experience is down to staffing, and that's what we're going to go through today. I'm going to share with you the 3 pillars of my own personal capacity plan that I used to scale my business to nearly £1 million in turnover. Get these in place and you'll go from a burned out, overstretched CEO to a time-rich, laid-back leader. Pillar number 1 is targets and KPIs. I could talk about this until the cows come home, but I can't stress enough the importance of getting them right. Without them, you are unable to have a clear path forward and map out any associated costs when it comes to expanding production and hiring additional staff. So rather than being so busy that you can't cope, or things start to go wrong and you start hiring any old body just to help you out, you can actually have a strategy for hiring the right people at the right time. So how do we do this? First, we start with team metrics. A solid set of metrics are your team's salaries and the levels or grades they work at. So start by opening a simple spreadsheet. Pop the names, grades, and salary in each column. Next, you want to write down what each staff member's financial goal is. This goal is the expectation of that member of staff in terms of the value of work that they're going to be able to do. I know what you're about to say. How do we work out what they should be doing in terms of value? Honestly, this is down to you. Only you know your team, what they're capable of, what their technical ability is, and what your average fee is. One thing I will say is personally, I don't like my more senior staff to have a financial KPI at all. And this is because we want them to manage clients and client relationships, and also be reviewing work. So once you've been through your team and you have all of this in place, you'll have a nice set of metrics that will tell you what amount of turnover of work you should be able to achieve in total. What this allows you to do now is to see if you have productivity issues or any other problems if staff still can't meet the requirements of output. Remember, these are just guidelines and you need to build them to your business's requirements. The more complicated that you make it, the harder it is for any staff that you have to adhere to it. Pillar number 2 is identifying who you need to hire. Imagine you have your basic set of KPIs. You can see you're understaffed and now you're ready to hire, but who would be the best fit? So let's say you have established that you have £210,000 worth of accounts and tax work per year. Using this information, you now need to look at your recurring revenue as it stands at the moment and split it out. Now this can be split into accounts work, tax work, technical work, or whatever you want to call it. With a full breakdown of each of these categories, you can establish the amount of work needed for each one. From here, you can look at your staff members and see if that work fits within their current capacity. Now, this will depend if they are on track to hit their KPIs. Now remember, the most important thing to look at is what work you currently have and how this is made up, because this is how you identify if you are lacking resources in one particular area. And finally, pillar number 3. This focuses on the age-old question, what comes first, more clients or more staff? If you're reaching the point that you're feeling busy, more often than not, your very first hire should be admin support. That's because in the early stage of hiring, you need to be focusing on the actual doing or the higher value work and not the administrative work. That will be taking up so much of your time. Next, you want to be looking to hire a senior. Why? Well, once you've hired admin support, you're going to be busy being in the numbers. See what I did there? What a senior allows you to do is delegate some of this work and scale and grow the business. But wait a minute, Jeri, wouldn't it be cheaper to hire an apprentice? Yes, absolutely it would, but they need a lot of training and support. And guess who is the only person that's available to do that? Yep, you catch my drift. Get your senior in place first, then hire the apprentice if you want to. So when it comes to balancing taking on new clients or hiring more staff, honestly, it's a bit of both. You want to take on more clients just to stretch your capacity enough to push you. And this can be tough in the short term, but as long as you don't do this too much and you hire in line with the growth, you'll get the long-term benefits. Of course, you need to consider your cash flow for hiring, and this is where the balance comes in. Okay, let's summarize. Get your KPIs in place first. Without these, you're sailing a rudderless ship. Know your staffing costs and output capacity before you even think about hiring. Hire for your next step of growth, not for your ego. Make sure you're hiring staff to fill the gap in your capacity plan, not what you think will save you money or look good on social media. Review your team's metrics on a regular basis. Make sure you have the right people doing the right work. Get clear on their overall capacity and then break it down. And that's it. A simple way to create a killer capacity plan. If you want to see how I do this step by step, how others have used this in their practices, and have direct access to me and my team of experts inside the Accountants Wealth Academy, hit that little link in the description below the screen here and come and join us. Bye.